Welcome back to the news at 10. Residents of Pt.3 Crescent in Calabar municipality are pleading with the Cross River State government to come to their rescue as they raise alarm over threats of erosion. According to residents, the problem started when a road project was poorly constructed, paving the way for a nightmare which they now face. Our community report tonight looks at the plight of the residents of the settlement.
What first appeared as a crack in the ground soon developed into a ravine that has changed the landscape and lives of residents of Pt.3 Crescent, the settlement in Cross River State, South Nigeria. Residents gather every day to discuss ways of saving their homes. They trace their problems to 2012, when a road project, which was meant to make life easy for them, turned out to be the opposite.
Initially, the water would just come up and it will pass through by the side here. But when the road was made, the volume of water that was coming in became greater. And it started eroding gradually until when it gets to this point.
So over the years, it has cut from where you have seen up to this point, which then we had some structures and also land. It has taken 3 houses and 2 now are also in a very bad state, which the owners have left for elsewhere to settle.
In 5 years, the once sought-after neighborhood has become a nightmare. As structures have been destroyed by the erosion, residents live each day in fear and extreme caution.
It's been a threat to us, and it's very close to my house. This house is already gone. This one is gone. Look at that one. Very close to my house, so it's a threat. Where will I run to?
Government's intervention is the only thing the residents need, and urgently too. A matter the authorities say is being looked into.
The good news about that site is that we already have it designed. That has been subjected to a lot of diligent check by the quality control firm in Abuja, as well as the World Bank, and that design has been approved. We have also gone beyond just approval of the design. We have been able to have that incorporated into our 2018 work and procurement plan for the project, and we are in the process of ensuring that the bidding document for that site, that the World Bank grants no objection to the bidding document of that site. And once we have that no objection, we'll go ahead and advertise for contractors to bid for that site.
Cloud of uncertainty hovers over Pt.3 Crescent, and until something is done by the authorities to fix this, the residents here may have no option but to consider relocating to save their lives.
Nigeria's Globacom has launched a new SIM card into the Nigerian market called OgaSIM. The SIM card offers new subscribers up to 125% bonus-free data for 4 months. The project's launch is to celebrate 15 years of Glo's operations in Nigeria.
Nigeria is fast becoming a technologically driven society. Businesses are gradually gaining more online presence, thereby increasing the demand for more affordable data. Globacom understands this growing trend, and that's why it's celebrating its 15th year of operation in Nigeria by launching what it calls the king of all data, the OgaSIM.
With this product, you do not need to look any further for value or for reliability, and therefore we call it the king of all products. The offering is also aptly named OgaSIM, and it is the master of all SIMs in the country today.
OgaSIM promises an even better browsing experience for its subscribers, as Globacom's management say it has expanded its reach, which means better and fast internet connection.
Before we launched OgaSIM, we ensured that
every city, every nook and corner of the country, we have 3G network, and as you know, we have the largest 4G network today. So we have invested more base stations, we've upgraded the capacity so that people are able to reach out. Also, we've ensured that wherever they are data users, we have better coverage for our data users. So with all these things that has been put in place before the offer has been launched, we are very confident today that people will enjoy it seamlessly across Nigeria.
A lot of people want to remain connected all the time at an affordable rate, and that is what Oga's team is all about, to provide that connectivity without, like I said earlier, breaking the bank.
With the numerous mouth-watering options the SIM provides, truly anyone and everyone can be an Oga.
Officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria have met with manufacturers in the country to drum up support for its $2.4 billion currency swap policy with the People's Bank of China. The CBN acting director in charge of corporate affairs, Mr. Isaac Okorafo, explains that the deal will provide local currency liquidity for both Nigerian and Chinese businessmen without being exposed to the difficulties of seeking other scarce foreign resources. He was speaking at a meeting with some manufacturers in Abuja.
3 months after the central bank signed a $2.4 billion currency swap deal with China, it has been meeting with owners of businesses to sensitize them on the advantages of the new policy. The latest of such meetings held in Abuja, the nation's federal capital territory, where the benefits of the swap deal is outlined to manufacturers.
The essence is to enable the Central Bank of Nigeria and the People's Bank of China to exchange currencies. The Chinese people will give us renminbi and we'll give them naira. The amount of renminbi that Chinese will give to us is 15 billion renminbi. Since we started, we have had 2 interventions so far, and perhaps the 3rd one is already on the way again. And the result has been good. There's improvement in the demand, meaning that most of our people have started to actually get invoices in yuan and are coming for it.
The president of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry shares the same line of thought with the federal government on the benefits of the policy. He hopes for better policies to improve the businesses of manufacturers.
The very effort of the Central Bank of Nigeria at instituting this swap agreement shows the interest of government in promoting trade of Nigerians, both import and export. And I think if our government continue to implement policies like this that will favor us, that will favor business people, our economy will continue to expand.
China is Nigeria's second largest trading partner after the United States, with trade volumes between the two totaling $9.2 billion in 2017. It will be interesting to see how the new initiative will help both countries strengthen their bilateral ties in the days ahead.
For the rest of the business news, here's Kayode Okikiolu.
You First. First Bank.
Many thanks, Ijama, and you're welcome to Business News. Now, after reaching more than 12-year high, Nigeria's headline inflation rate has continued to decline since January 2017. At this moment, latest figure from the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that the Consumer Price Index fell by 0.09% to 11.14% last month, and that's from 11.23% recorded in June 2018. That's its 18th straight decline year-on-year and the lowest in over 2 years. The food index also fell from 12.98% in June to 12.85% in July, and that's the 10th consecutive decline year-on-year, while core sub-index dropped from 10.4% to 10.2%. Just last week, a deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Joseph Nana, hinted that the MPC would consider raising its key lending rate for the first time in 2 years, and that's if the inflation rate fails to slow in July. The push for a better import duty regime for Nigerian ship owners through a special intervention is in progress, as the facility will now allow them to be competitive with their foreign counterparts. That's coming from the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. He was speaking with journalists at an event in Lagos State.
And they've complained that the tax regime or the import duty regime for Nigerians who are bringing vessels to the country or spare part of vessels in the country are not favorable. Based on that, we open engagement with the central bank on the possibility of Nigerian ship owners accessing a special fund for that purpose at 1-digit interest rate. And they said two things. One, it is possible. Two, it needs further engagement with higher levels of government. Apart from fact, we're pushing for a special facility for ship owners to access at a single-digit interest rate to acquire vessels. We're pushing for a different tax regime. Many foreigners, when they are bringing vessels into the country, they are not taxed as if that vessel is a new vessel. It is taxed as if the vessel will come into the country, work for some time and leave. So they have a lower tax regime. But when Nigerians are bringing vessels, they have a higher tax regime. We are saying that this is not going to make us competitive in the industry.
And moving on, MTN Nigeria has signed a 200 billion naira loan deal with 12 banks in the country. The loan, which is denominated in naira, comes with a 2-year moratorium and a 5-year repayment plan. The medium-term loan is expected to help the telecommunications giant facilitate the expansion of its operations, particularly in the rural areas of the country. In the meantime, the Nigerian Telecommunications Commission has given MTN Nigeria May the 29th next year as the deadline to list on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as part of the agreed 330 billion naira fine settlement. Persistent sell pressures by investors continues to dominate activities at the stock market, but with a slight improvement in the total volume of transactions at the close of Wednesday's trading session. Bisi Adebayo has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Midweek trading at the local equities market ended the day still with a bearish sentiment, marking the third straight decline this week. With political risk still on the minds of portfolio investors, the benchmark index fell deeper by over 0.5%, close to the 34,000 level, while profit-taking knocked off 78 billion naira from the total value of listed equities. The sell-offs also extended to the 4 major counters of the NSE, but the insurance sector recovered slightly by 0.04%, helped by the price rally from Linkage Assurance. The insurer also tops a list of 12 gainers, up 9.68%. The USC Prop led 28 other gainers, down by 10%, while UBA, Zenith Bank and FCMB are lead contributors to over 200 million shares traded today. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I'm Bisi Adebayo.
Thank you, Bisi. Well, on the global scene, it's a gloomy picture across board for major stock markets across the US, Europe and Asia, amid decline in key tech stocks and Turkey's lingering financial crisis. Here are some of the closing figures for Wednesday. And that's business news. Thank you for watching. I am Kayode Okikiolu. It's now back to you, Ijeoma.
first. First Bank.
Thanks, Coyote. Still ahead on the news at 10, Super Eagles forward Victor Moses announces retirement from international football to focus on family and club career. That's on sports. Just stay with us.